What's going on, people? Today we're going to do the review of the WEP 982 Victor soldering station that I got in, let's see, when did I get this? 6 months ago. I did a unboxing of it. I'll try and link it below. So far so good. This has been a pretty nice little system. I'm going to get it plugged in and then we will go over the features. Alright, got it all plugged in. I'm going to flip it on. So hang out and I'll watch it to the end and we'll see what I think. So, to start out with, it's got a bright screen, white backlight, which I like. There is, it's a simulated power meter. To me, kind of pointless, maybe gimmicky. I guess it shows how much power you're drawing. Okay, it goes up when it heats up. Since I just did that, one of the other features of this is if you put it in here, it'll go into a low heat mode first. So it'll drop down like, I don't know, 100, 150 degrees. And then after approximately 5 minutes, it'll go into what's known as sleep mode. And it'll drop down, way down, like 150 degrees. And that is so that you don't burn up your tips, which is a good thing because tips aren't cheap. It came with, speaking of tips, it came with, not that one. It came with the chisel tip. I don't know, this double angle tip. It came with a single angle tip. It came with a sharp point and then the bent sharp point. And the smaller of these type of tips, which is currently my favorite. I've always used a very fine point when I'm soldering, but I found this works okay for, you know, whatever, the really tiny SMD, really small pad through holes. But this one seems to work much better on circuit boards. You just get better heat transfer. But anyway, it came with all 4 of these tips. You can tell that I have used a few, all of them actually, except that one. It gets the temperature really fast. The actual measurement right here goes up a bit quicker than it gets to the element. I don't know, it's probably just electronics inside not being quite tuned, but it doesn't matter. It gets up really quick. It's if I had to put a time on it, I'd say 8 seconds. You know, I can live with that. Right here on the screen, it'll give you what tip you currently are using. I believe this takes the 210 and 245s. I did have someone ask me, and I will explain it right now. The difference in the 210 and 245 is the 245, the bigger number is the bigger tip. And there you go. It's for better heat transfer, better thermal conduction, blah blah blah. And the 210 would be for your, you know, super fine, better tip control type soldering. Right here it shows you the set temperature, which is currently the sleep temperature, which is 392 degrees. Well, it's not sleep, it's the low mode temperature. And then when you take it out, it'll jump up to the temperature that you have it set to, which is 550. And you can see that that was like, I don't know, 2 seconds. So in another 3 seconds, this will be hot. So, you know, roughly 5 seconds. It comes with a hot swap feature, so you can use this as to pull your tip out. You can slide your new tip in, and then you can use that to shove it tight. And there it detected a new tip, and it will immediately start heating back up. It also does have no tip detection. I don't know if this is hot or not, but I'm not going to risk it. It does have no tip detection, so when you pull your tip out, you'll see heating element not detected. this is also an error code for when you put your tips in. I had this problem one time. Also had someone comment on it. When you put your tips in, like when you first open the package and you first get it, you put your tip in. If you get it in, you think it's in all the way, it won't do that, and it may jiggle loose or whatever. You have to give it a little extra push to make sure it's seated in there really good. I believe he was running 210 tips, and they're a bit smaller, so he may have just not shoved it in. He didn't answer me, so I don't know. Let's see, what else do we got here? This is the temperature adjustment, up and down. It also comes with this, which at first I thought not so hot. You know, I was like, this is small. It's like an afterthought, but okay, it's super tight to get off. Anyway, it comes with the little brass inside, like everything else. It also comes with this silicone pad deal that has cuts in it. If you look right here, you can see where it spreads apart. So it fits in here pretty snug, and at first I thought that was kind of gimmicky, but then I used it once, and it's that little silicone part really helps you get the solder off. So I like it. I still use my, I think I got this on Temu. That's what I still use, but sometimes that just doesn't clean it quite right, and if I hit this a couple times, boom, you see how clean that is, and I use that tip, so pretty good. You can set your tip temperature while it's in the cradle. It'll show up down here as your set temp, so if you start clicking it, it'll change 5, you know, whatever. I have mine set to 550, and like I said, it heats up really fast. It does its job. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shut it down, let it cool off for however long it takes to cool off. I'm going to take some solder and wrap it around the tip, and then we're just going to turn it on and see how long it takes to melt that solder. So give me just a minute and I'll get that ready. Okay, we are back. One feature I forgot to mention is it does have the temperature control on the handle, and I don't know, I always forget about it and just use the buttons, because I mean, it's not like it's a really long cable. I mean, that's all of it right there, so it's like a max 3 foot 1 meter, and it's always within reach. So I don't know, it might be handy to some, but to me it's kind of gimmicky. I do have, as you see there, I have solder wrapped around it, and I have a pretty good bit. This is a 0.8 millimeter solder, I believe. Yep, this is 0.8 millimeter solder, 6040 leaded. This is by WEP. I've mentioned this, and I think I did a review on it. Anyway, there's lots of videos of me using this. This is my favorite solder. It's my go-to because it is cheap, and it works great. So, all right, let's turn it on. Let me get my metal. I use this little, it's a lid to a hard candy thingy. All right, you're cooled off. But that's what I use for catching solder, you know. So let me set this in view here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and, I think I'll zoom in on this. All right, we are zoomed in on it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, and like I said, maybe 8 seconds would be my guess. You guys count. I don't have a timer, so I'm not gonna. Takes about 5 seconds to boot up. And there you go. Yeah, the solder is already melted and off. I have zero complaints. It's a ton better and a ton faster as far as working. Things they could improve on. Yeah, there's a couple things they could improve on. Number one, the switches on the back of this thing, which is really inconvenient. There's tons of room. They could have put it up here on the side. It would have been easier. They could put it here. They could put it anywhere but back here, which is just You know, it's 4 inches of wire. It's just, to me, the most inconvenient thing is because mine sits way back here next to the YouTube counter, and it's just really inconvenient to get to. One more thing that I didn't care for was this is not removable. It doesn't take replacement wands, which isn't a deal breaker for me, but for a lot of people it will be a deal breaker. I feel like if something were to happen to the wand, I could probably get it replaced, but for what this cost, you know, you gotta weigh the things. The other thing that I don't care for is the cord. The cord itself is fine. That's a good enough gauge. It doesn't get hot or anything like that, but it is super short. Again, if it's a meter, I'd be surprised. I like to see a 6-foot cord on stuff. So WEP, if you see this, you need to do something about that cord and the switch. You know, like I said, this isn't a deal breaker for probably a lot of people, but that switch being in the back and the cord being so short, you know, that's kind of an issue. Things I like about it. I already said I love the display. The display is awesome. The buttons are just tactile buttons. They're pretty standard tactile buttons, no big deal. The wand is nice. It doesn't get hot. I mentioned on my Yahuwah desoldering iron that the handle gets extremely hot after a long term of use. This doesn't do that. My old soldering iron did. The handle would get hot. So this so far has been fine, and I've used it for a couple hours at a time, and no problem. A lot of that is probably due to the tip cooling, which is an excellent feature. If you get a soldering station, look for that feature. That is excellent for keeping your tips in good shape. You're not going to go through them as bad. I like the tip holder. You could use this as a solder holder also. Let me see real quick. You could use it for the solder holder. So like if you buy these tubes of solder, they also fit right in there pretty good. So you could probably just, well, no. But this is the solder that came with it. It's lead free. I don't use it. Never use it. I keep it around for just in case. It's probably the only lead-free solder I'll ever own, unless I buy something else that comes with it. But you know, I use it to hold my tips, and as you can see, I have several tips. They all fit in there great. The hot swap feature, awesome, with the ability to put them in without having to touch it. I mean, you stick them in at first, but then you can shove it down in there and seat it while the machine is on. Excellent. And I like that. I didn't think I would. I do like that. Other than that, build quality, it's solid. I mean, it's fairly heavy. Feels like it might be weighted in the bottom, which is fine by me. Keeps it from moving around when you got it sitting someplace. So yeah, that's about it. If you're looking for a nice soldering iron, and like I said before, this cord being like 3 foot long, that's something to be aware of. You may need an extension cord or close access to an outlet. I don't recommend running straight to an outlet. I always recommend running through a surge protector, because that's what happened to my last soldering iron. Is I didn't have it surged, and guess what happened? I had a surge. So now I have this. It's excellent. Like I said, there's a couple things I don't like. There's a lot of things I do like, and I would say yes, it's a go. I tried to give you all the information so you can make that decision on your own. It also has a small footprint, which is nice. My other one was about that big, which took up a lot of room up here. As you can see, I don't have a lot of room to spare. But that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I say, yeah, it's a good one. If you're a pro, don't criticize me. I get it. You guys use all the high dollar stuff. Us do-it-yourselfer kind of guys, there's a lot of stuff we skimp on. I don't consider this skimping. This does really good. It's a really nice soldering iron, and like I said, I've used it for a couple hours at a time, and I have had no problem in the last 6 months, not one. So there you go. Thanks again to my subscribers. We are slowly getting up there. We might even see that 500 this year. I don't know. Again, thank you all. And leave a comment down below if there's something I missed or something that you need to know or would like to know about this particular soldering station. Just ask. I read all my comments and I do my best to answer it when it is applicable. So thanks again. Please subscribe, like, hit the buttons. Hype, I guess, is a new thing. And we'll catch you on the next one.